Dionne, welcome. Are you sitting comfortably?
I am sitting comfortably. Are you sitting comfortably?
Yeah, fairly. You've got a nice chair here. I'm feeling, very comfy. Thank you very much.
Same.
Yeah, very nice antique chair. Like it.
I know.
So we're here today to talk about your new album, Good for the Soul.
Yes.
It is your second album, but you're calling it your first real album.
Yeah, no, it's my first real album because it's coming from me in a sense of I wrote most of the tracks on the album, so I kind of call it my first album.
So it's like a diary.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's start with the first single, Yeah Right. Tell us all about it, who produced it, influences behind it.
Yeah Right was produced by Egg White. He'd done a lot of Adele and that kind of stuff, which was really cool. And the feel of it is very, I wanted to keep that 60s Motown sound in it, but yet still keep it up to date and modern. And obviously it's got Diggy Simmons in it, and if you don't know who he is, he's Rev Run's son, and he's amazing, absolutely amazing.
So how did that come about, getting Diggy on it? Because you know, that's not a casual thing to happen.
I know, exactly. I mean, I was actually meant to just be doing it by myself. It was meant to be a solo track, and they said, oh, well, let's get a rapper in it. So they looked at Diggy, and I only knew Diggy from Run's house, so I was like, okay. And I remember I was in Birmingham, and they sent the track over, and then they were like, listen, it's got Diggy on it. And I was like, wow, this is amazing.
So let's talk a bit about the first album, because it had a very Motown feel to it. You did covers on there, and it was all 60s classics. So would you say that the sound from that is still very much around on the second album? Is the influence still there?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, Motown's what I love, and that's what I want to let people hear. I would hate for it to be a bit all like Lady Gaga. I'm not saying that she's awful, because she's amazing, but it's not my thing. So we definitely try to keep in that 60s soul stuff, but yet keep it with today's music.
Now it's called Good for the Soul. Is this album good for the soul? Am I going to put it on and think, my soul feels good?
Well,
it felt bad, but now it feels great.
Hopefully it will revitalise you. That's the whole point.
You need water when you've got Good for the Soul by Dionne Bromfield.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about the track, The Sweetest Thing. You said it's about a friend of yours who had a bit of male trouble.
Yeah, or should I say boy, because he's a year older than her.
Would she mind if you tell us a bit of goss about that?
It's basically about, she really liked this boy that was a year older than her, and she used to always be like, oh, he's like my sweetest thing. And one day I actually just wrote that down. I just wrote Sweetest Thing, and then I come into working with Steve Booker, who actually done the track with me, and I was like, look, I've got this thing called Sweetest Thing, and he was like, oh, I've got an idea, and then poof.
Light bulb moment.
Exactly.
Like that.
Would
you say that when you get ideas, do you instantly go and write them down?
Do you know what, I don't. I've had lots of ideas and I've forgot to write it down, and I've totally forgot about it. But if it's a really good idea, then it will come back.
Stores in the brain.
Exactly, but I had a notepad that I actually took to America, and it had everything in it, loads of songs, and I actually left it in Toby Gadd's, who done a lot of stuff with me in his studio. I was just like, nice, so if he takes one of my songs and it does really well, I want that copyright.
So what's it like being at school and being a pop star? Are you taking influences from friends? Are you getting a load of attention? What's the school life like?
No, I don't really get attention. A lot of kids are like, oh my god, we just saw you on the telly, and it's like, oh, you're cool. I find it so embarrassing. Yeah. Like when Yeah Right came out, everyone was like singing it, and I was like, oh, cringe. And then when people are like, Dionne, sing it for us.
In the middle of the playground?
It was like in a maths class.
Here's a
just
hairbrush.
randomly singing it. Exactly. It was just so awkward. But it's good to show that they're really dedicated, and they really do support me, and I'm glad.
So, first single was Yeah Right, Diggy Simmons. How are you going to step up from that? Well, you had the single Fallin', and that featured Little Twist.
Yeah, I like that little
intro there, So how did we get a little twist on the track? Tell me all about Fallin'.
Well, same thing kind of with Yeah Right. We were thinking, shall we or shall we not? And then we thought, do you know what? It'll be kind of good to get someone on it. And then Little Twist popped up, light bulb moment, and he said, yeah, he'll do it. And it sounds really good, and I was surprised, because to me, he sounds like a little version of Lil Wayne. It was like having your own little Lil Wayne.
Own little Wayne.
Yeah.
Say that really fast.
Own little Wayne.
Pretty good, actually. In the video for that, there's 3 of you. What was it like playing 3 of you?
It was cool. It was really cool. It's so weird because you get told, okay, there's going to be one of you here and one of you there, but you can't see it visually, so I was just like, okay. I remember they were like, when you're doing the movements, don't put your hand over there, because otherwise you're going to have half a hand.
You're going to hit yourself in the face.
Yeah, so I was like trying to do it like that, and I look like a pigeon. But it actually looks alright. I really like it.
Yeah. So we've got the second album. You said that you wrote a lot of the ideas down, or stored them in your head. Did you find the approach of thinking of the lyrics was hard? Because obviously for the first album, a lot of it was covers. Yeah. So for the second album, you have to think, right, I actually have to speak from my own words, write my own emotions down. How did you go about thinking of the emotions?
At first it was hard because it was a new thing and I was kind of a bit like, oh my god, say if I'm going to walk in there and they're just going to be like, what is she talking about, that's rubbish. But I worked with such amazing people and they really brought out the best in me and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it and I'd like to carry on doing songwriting and stuff, not just for myself but for other people as well.
Who would you like to write for?
Oh, I'd like to do a Beyonce song.
So you went out to LA to do a lot of recording with Toby Gad. Now he's worked with Beyonce and Rihanna.
Yes.
And now he's added Dionne Bromfield to that massive list of big names.
I know, and he's got my songbook.
And he's got your songbook. But none of the tracks that you recorded actually made the album, did they?
I know. Well, you never know. They might be on a...
Might just pop up.
Yeah, you never know.
Free release.
Yeah. Well, they were good songs and I really enjoyed them. It's not that they were rubbish songs at all, it was just we had the album already, so... Because
you've got 14 tracks on the album.
I know.
And a standard album only has about 12, so that's quite a lot already. So maybe you've got enough already for the third without even having to go back in the studio?
No, I think, you know, I like going to the studio, so knowing me, I'll do another probably 44 songs.
There's another track on the album called Get Over It, and it's about waiting for a boy to text you back. Now, obviously, I've never had that experience. Girls that always text me back straight away. But are you writing from your heart here? Is this a boy that's been leaving you hanging?
It could be, it might not be.
Is it another friend you're talking about without their permission?
No, it's just, I think any girl my age has probably texted a boy and you wait for them to text you back and they don't text you back and you're just like, oh, cool.
That's boys really, isn't it?
Yeah.
15-year-old boys, they're out playing football.
I think every girl's had that and I was just like, let's write a song about it and it is actually not another friend of mine.
Not another one. Do they know about this one?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell them.
You have to tell them soon, don't you? They're going to listen to the album and go, hang on.
But you know what makes me laugh? I actually done a live lounge at my school once and I sang Get Over It and the same person who it's about come up to me.
You looked at them in the eye.
I love that song, that's amazing. I was like,
so relate to that song.
It's about you.
Yeah, that was about you. Thanks for that. Thanks for the inspiration on that one.
I was just like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
So what does the future hold for Dionne Bromfield? We've got the second album. Are we going to see world domination? Dionne for Prime Minister?
Well, there's already 3 of me in the Fallen video.
That's true.
You never know, it might be another 3 million of me.
What else?
Hopefully, maybe I could pick up a couple of Grammys, that would be nice.
Couple of Grammys, awards. 3 million Dionnes in the world, and what about films?
Oh, films, no, that would be wicked if I could get into acting. That would be really, really cool. I mean, I'm doing a CBBC show called Friday Downloads, where I'm a presenter, so it's getting up there.
World watch out for Dionne Bromfield.
Exactly.